And we are back on this Thursday morning. We're welcoming Dr. Erica, of course, by Zoom. Good morning to you, Erica. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks.
Well, we are talking about Johnson & Johnson. This is what everyone's talking about. Of course, there's a pause on this. There's a pause in billings over it. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what people should know.
Right. So it's been an interesting week. The FDA and the CDC recommended that we pause administering just the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for COVID-19 because they identified through their adverse event reporting system 6 cases of a rare specific type of blood clot that developed in women within 2 to 3 weeks following the administration of their Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And that was enough out of the 6.85 million vaccines that have been delivered. These 6 cases spurred this alarm and this alert that caused them to pause the administration until we can learn more about it and see if this is a real concern or a causative effect of this vaccine.
Yeah, okay. So the concern there is real for people, and it's totally natural, I think, for people to be concerned about this. But I mean, what would you say to those who now are super concerned, especially those women or those people that fall into that category that are impacted?
I think it's, important to know that this is a very rare specific type of blood clot. It's a blood clot in the brain along the venous sinus that drains the blood from the brain, along with a really low platelet count. Again, this is 6 out of almost 7 million cases. So it's less than 1 in a million chance. So number one, the risk is very, very low. If you received it within the last 2 to 3 weeks, though, patients as well as providers need to be aware and on the lookout for any new onset severe headache or mental status changes or vision changes or other neurologic changes, also an increased bleeding or bruising. We should also make sure we know if that happened within the 2 to 3 weeks to see your doctor. It's also treated very specifically. And so that's important for us to know if someone does present with something like this. I think what's important to know, though, is that number one, it's super, super rare. If it's been over 3 weeks since you had your Johnson & Johnson vaccine, it's even more rare that you would get anything like this. A lot of people are concerned about what about the other vaccines. There have been almost 180 million administrations in the United States of the vaccines, with only 6 million of them being the Johnson & Johnson. So of all of the Pfizer and Moderna, we have seen 0 cases of this type of blood clot. So I think people should continue to feel comfortable proceeding with those vaccines. I think one thing to really point out in this era of concern over vaccines and whether it's safe or not, with how fast it's all come out, that this is a perfect example that we are watching and that they are reporting adverse effects and they're taking them seriously. And so to me, it gives me even more confidence in the safety system of these vaccines and the fact that we have not seen anything like this in the Pfizer and Moderna. People should continue to get vaccinated. The risk of a severe adverse event from COVID-19 infection continues to far outweigh the risks of any serious adverse event from any of these vaccines. So continue to get vaccinated. Be aware of this. This is we'll see what happens. It may get started up again, but we're just going to have to wait and see, and just be aware of your symptoms if you're in that group.
All right, Dr. Erica, we hear about this stuff on a national level. It's really nice to hear our local health officials kind of talk about this and really give us that understanding. So thank you so much for letting us know everything there is to know about the J&J shot. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay
Okay.
safe.
We'll see you later. All right.
All right.
We'll be right
Bye-bye.
back.